for today's Capitol Close-Up. We welcome back Maryland Democratic Representative Glenn Ivey. Thank you for joining us here today, live in studio. We have to talk about the government shutdown, obviously.
Sure.
Tens of thousands of Americans starting today with news that nobody wanted, that this has happened. What's your message to people who are deeply concerned?
Well, two things. One is that we're going to try and make sure we get through this as quickly as possible. The second, though, is we want to try and make sure that at the end of this, health care is restored for people who are facing massive cuts. There's $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid that the Republicans have pushed through in a previous bill. And also the ACA extension credits are about to expire as well. So what that could mean is that for some people, they're going to see the premiums they have to pay in double in some instances. So we want to try and address both of those things as part of a resolution for this.
Is that possible? Because it's been such a sticking point and a stalemate for weeks now. Do you think anything can be done to truly move the needle in either direction on this?
Sure. I mean, we always get the result. Now, the last one we had when President Trump was in office took 33 days. I think people who are, once they realize the types of increases they might be facing in paying for their health care, they might have to drop it altogether. I think there'll be public pressure to get something done.
What could that look like?
The public pressure?
The public pressure and also the compromise.
Well, we'll have to see what the compromise is. My hope is it'll address these health care issues. You know, the Republicans have dug a very deep hole with respect to health care coverage for the American people, and we're asking them to cancel those cuts that they've made. But you know, working it out, I think just, you know, people need to come together and sit down. The Monday was the first time when they went to the White House where it actually had all of the principals sitting down and talking. That hasn't happened again since then. But I think, you know, working something out on this front, people just have to get in the same room and have the conversation.
Yeah, but you have so many Republicans laying this at the feet of Democrats, blaming you all for the stalemate and the shutdown. Speaker Johnson saying there's no more negotiating to do. It is what it is, essentially.
Sure, but when those notices land in people's mailboxes and they open them up and they see that their health care costs have like doubled, they're going to get on the phone and say, who did this and how do you fix it and how quick can you get it done? That's when things will change.
Do you surmise it will happen sooner than 35 days, which is how long it took 2018 going into 2019?
I certainly hope so. I mean, there's real costs that come with shutting down the government, certainly for the economy, and absolutely for government employees across the area and across the country. 85% of government employees are not in the D.C. area, by the way, but it's an impact for them trying to pay their bills. Many of them get furloughed and don't get paid until after it's over. And of course, there's been the threat by the Trump administration to take punitive steps to permanently fire people. But the goal here, I think, is to make sure we get the resolution done quickly, a deal with respect to the health care extensions for sure, get people back to work because they provide services that the American people need.
Yeah, but then you also have people who own businesses who rely on federal workers spending their money there, so the impact is far-reaching. I was at a hair salon yesterday, and there were two federal workers. They were there. One woman was so nervous, she was shaking under the hair dryer. We asked her what was wrong. I'm worried about this government shutdown. Speak directly to the people who don't care if it's the Democrats' fault or the Republican fault. They just want something done.
I think that's right. 100% of the people don't care, you know, who's at fault on that front. But the goal, I think, for especially local government workers, and I've been hearing a lot from them because I represent so many, they recognize that they need the health care benefits put back in place. Many of them have, for example, you know, grandmas in a nursing home or something like that, and the only way they can afford it is through Medicaid payments. We had a woman who has 2 autistic kids, and the only way she can cover the medical costs that they incur is through Medicaid. So we've got a lot of people like that, millions actually across the country.
And some people who think this is worth the fight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think the other part, too, is that, you know, the Trump administration has been firing government employees since they got there on January 20th. I think they understand that the threats he's making, he's already been acting on those anyway. So the goal, I think, is to try and make sure we get it done as quickly as possible. There's a lawsuit that's been filed to try and protect government workers from the type of punitive steps that they've threatened to take. And there's a lot of litigation going on around that now. But I think it's important for us to take this stand now try and push to make sure the health care benefits are restored to the American people, and also make sure we get people back to work as quickly as possible.
Representative Ivey, thank you so much for your time and your insight. I know you're incredibly busy today, like all of our lawmakers. We appreciate you making the time to come here to Fox 5.
Thank you.